Welcome to the GameChanger 00100 show. I am your host, GameChanger. All right, seen a video yesterday and wanted to share with you today. Basically, it's of a woman who is describing a situation where a Chinaman is in Ethiopia, of all places, who is negotiating on his bride-to-be's bride price. Now, for those of you who are thinking that this is reminiscent of the triangle trade or the transatlantic slave trade, I think that that is a false parallel, because bride price is something that is practiced not only in China, but throughout various African nations and other nations throughout the world. So I'm not going to really mock anybody's customs or traditions here, but I can't help but notice that this is extremely poor optics. I'm also going to attack this phenomenon by a transracial as well as an economic standpoint. Hit that like button while we get into it. But before we go too deep into it, let me just go ahead and play the short of the day. Now, this short of the day reminds me of the topic that we had last time. And that topic being, do women's value depreciate over time? Now, of course, we all know it does. There are younger women who want to deny the existence of a wall, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, especially young, attractive women, because things are so good for them that they can't possibly see an end or a sharp decline to it. In this short, we're going to hear from an older woman's perspective on this and get her take on it. Fair use, people. Fair use.
It's always women have to look a certain way in order to be chosen. We've been conditioned to compete against each other to be chosen.
Yeah.
We have to have a certain body. We have to have a certain glow. We have to have a certain look. And I'll just speak in my category because I'm over 50. Once I get to this age, I start to lose that beauty, that youth, right? So the older men will start looking at the younger women, right? However, they're no different than me because they're losing the look, the body starts to go, and it's like, Negro. I want somebody next to me too that's a trophy too.
Right. Yes.
So here we go with the double standard.
Yeah.
We're sitting here talking about women. Can we flip it? The pressure is so hard. Literally.
Okay. This lunacy is the inevitable outcome of somebody who is confused about the nature of both men and women. This is what happens when you spend, and she's Gen X if she's in her 50s, when you spend an entire generation being taught that equality is sameness. Though men and women are socially equal and their contributions to the world is equal as well, that doesn't negate the fact that they are different, much like 4 quarters in coin form is equal to $1. However, one is easier to get into the vending machine than the other, and the other one is easier to hold in your wallet than it is to get into a vending machine. Hit that like button. Once again, 2 things are equal, yet completely different. So she feels that because they're equal, that they're the same, that men value beauty, youth, et cetera, the same way women value handsome and quality of men. If this were true, then corn, replace the C with a P, then corn would be equal pay, right? I mean, because both parties value this commodity equally, then the men would get paid as much as the women, and the women would be sought after as little as the men are. But we know that that's not true. And we know that women are more aggressively sought after than men, especially in their youth. And the reason for this is because of men' carnal desire for youth and beauty, which in a subconscious way relates to their fertility. Men have a carnal desire for fertility, it's connected to our mating desire. Now, she wants to say that, well, you have diminished too. Like, okay, our hair is grayer, and for many men, our stomach comes out more. Absolutely. Absolutely. These are things that happen over time. However, our fertility hasn't changed, or at least hasn't changed significantly. And yours has, meaning that the very essence of what attracts a man to a woman is visibly not available through you. Now, he's still going to want to hump on you the same way a dog, when a female dog isn't present, wants to hump on a human leg. It is a nice substitute for what he truly desires, and that is to engage in coitus. Look it up. With a fertile being. You had your opportunity. You've had years, perhaps decades, to capitalize on a opportunity that benefits you greatly. And you squandered it because you thought it was fun to do so. You thought it was liberating to do so. You thought that this made you feel independent. The feeling of they all want me, they can't have me. And now here you are, wondering why the men in the same category that chased you around when you were 20, 21, 22, 23 is now still chasing the 21, 22, 23-year olds. You see, the reason why the market favored you so much in your 20s is because you had every man from 18 to 80 looking for women between the ages of 18 to 34. That's why the market favored you so much. It wasn't until you became of age yourself and you realized that men still chase that particular category that this is a bad thing. But I want to, for a second, I might do a video on, because this is a clip, so I might do a video on the entire episode. But I want y'all to listen again and pay close attention to how the men react.
It's always women have to look a certain way in order to be chosen. We've been conditioned to compete against each other to be chosen.
Men have been conditioned to compete against each other in order to be chosen. Make no mistake, it is the ultimate women who choose, because it is the woman who has multiple suitors to choose from. Online, on dating apps, it is the woman who chooses whom to swipe left and right for. Though men choose who to swipe left and right for too, we are far less choosy and have far fewer options. It is ultimately the woman who chooses. Now, for her to say that they have been conditioned to compete, I call crap on that. If anything, women, particularly Black women, have been conditioned to maintain a solidarity, i.e., sisterhood, with each other, never to compete. If one of them gains 20 pounds, then the other gains 20 pounds. This is in order to maintain a, how can I say, low standard amongst the male populace. A monopoly, if you will. But they have not been conditioned to compete. When have you ever heard sisters compete for a man? If a man says that he likes a certain type of woman, they will simply shame you for liking that type of woman. If a man were to say he likes a submissive woman, then they would be like, oh, you want one of those weak ABs, don't you? If a man says that, he wants a cooperative woman, they would say that you cannot handle a strong Black woman. Where's the competition? A competition would be if a man states his desire and a woman competes to be the best at that stated desire. They have none, nor do they have any desire or willingness to gain it. Hit the like button. Spitting knowledge.
Yeah.
We have to have a certain body. We have to have a certain glow. We have to have a certain look.
When do y'all ever listen to the certain body that we say that you have to have? If you are competing for the body that men are claiming to desire from you, then you have lost that competition to everyone with an 80% overweight rate. That is a sign that you have lost the competition to everybody. Hit the like button again. Only if you haven't hit it before. They say we are forced to compete. Really? I don't see you in a gym killing it. I mean, what is this, a Kentucky Fried Chicken eating contest? Is that what you're competing in? I don't see y'all collectively competing.
Look. And I'll just speak in my category because I'm over 50. Once I get to this age, I start to lose that, right? So the older men will start looking at me.
Okay. Sweetie. Sweet, sweet, sweetie. Though I couldn't call you sweetie rightfully because you're older than me, significantly so. But the reason why I say sweetie is because I pity your naivete. Sweetie. I'm going to leave it at that.
Younger women, right? However, they're no different than me because they're losing the look, the body starts to go.
Men are significantly different than women. That's your problem. When you say they are no different than me, what are you talking about? And by the way, you don't start to lose your looks in your 50s. You have started a long time ago. You started probably 20 years ago. I mean, you've started to realize it. Just like a person don't really realize when they're gaining weight if they gain like a pound every 2 weeks. But they start to realize it after 52 weeks, after a year, when they're 25 pounds heavier. It's like that. The problem has started a long time ago. You have started to diminish a long time ago. You covered it up with makeup thinking that everything was going to be okay. You covered it up with favorable mirrors thinking that everything was okay. But sweetie, this problem started a long time ago, not on your 50th birthday.
Oh, and it's like, Negro. I want somebody next to me too.
Negroes. So many of them are simple-minded creatures. Listening to what is said, listening to how something is said versus what is said. If you don't believe me, I want you to go to your nearest Black church and notice the tonal influxes, the highs and lows, the music, et cetera, of how the pastor speaks. This is indicative of a people who is really not listening to what is being said, but the passion in which it is being stated. The people, the peanut gallery, whatever you want to call it, that are laughing at this, they're really just more concerned that, ooh, she said Negro slowly. She said it like Negro. And they think that that's funny because they've been trained to laugh at certain things like that. Also, you see this play out in street vendors who come to another Black person and say stuff like, I got that. And don't get me wrong, it's a very colorful way to state something until you hear what that is. And it's typically a product that you do not need, want, or desire. Imagine a 30-something-year-old man who's a street vendor walk up to you and say, I got that Avengers Infinity War on DVD. Now, it's something that I don't even have a functioning DVD player. I'd have to go into my garage and see if it still works. But he would say that thinking that I am foolish enough to purchase it, something that I don't want or need, simply because he said it in such a colorful way. I got that. I got that weed. Well, so does the dispensary. This is California and it's legal. Why on earth would I buy the I got that weed from you? But I digress.
That's a trophy too.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
So
yes.
here we go with the double standard.
Yeah.
We're
sure.
sitting here talking about women. Can we flip it? The pressure
Yeah.
is so hard.
So the fact that you feel that is pressure, and you didn't feel this pressure until your hair started turning gray. The fact that you feel so much pressure means that you're not up for the competition, nor should you be. You should be married with grandkids, celebrating your at least 25th wedding anniversary. But you're not. You're not doing that because you wasn't a better woman in your 20s. Instead, you're worrying about competing in a competition. Listen, you waited too long to compete. I'm in my 40s. You want to know why you don't see me trying to be the next LeBron James? Because my opportunity to do so has long passed. I would be foolish to attempt to do such a thing, just like you're foolish to attempt to do so now. And if I do attempt and fail drastically, I'm not going to blame the NBA saying, oh, yeah, well, the coaches is old too. That's stupid. Certain things are meant to be seized at a young age. This is a lesson that you should be teaching your younger self, but instead you are raging at the machine. Hit the like button, people. Hit the like button. All right, so now we're going to get into our main event, followed by a closing topic, and then we will close out. All right, so let's read some comments first. It says, in her argument that men and women holds the same value as an older age. Absolutely. Absolutely. And once again, this is a byproduct of conflating the two. Just like apple juice and orange juice may cost the same, however, they age differently and they have different values as far as vitamins and stuff like that goes. They have different properties, etc., etc., etc. She wants a man to treat her as if she as if she invested her age, womb, youth in him. Very good point. Very good point. You see, understand this. Men are willing to tolerate a woman's 40 plus in exchange for her 20 plus. What does that mean? Now, think of it as, let's just assume that we have the lifespan that we did when traditionalism began and life ended at around 60. Then it would behoove a man to say, okay, I only have 40 years of adulthood, more or less. If you give me 20 of your best years, I'll give you 20 of my best years. Meaning that if you give me 20 of your top youth, beauty, and fertility between the ages of 20 and 40, I will give you my top earning years between the ages of 40 and 60 for a man. Fair exchange, right? That's what marriage was. It's a fair exchange. But now you have women of a certain age who are saying, listen, I am not going to give you my youth, beauty, and fertility because I no longer have that to give. However, I still want your best years. I still want your top earning years. And I want you to give it to me as if I've given you the best of myself. In exchange, you will have access to this perimenopausal, dried vagina that has trouble maintaining elasticity and holding urine. In exchange for that, you get gray pubes. This is what I'm going to give you in exchange for your best years. Well put. Cue the old one. Dolomite says, GC, can we say her words don't qualify since she got gray hairs on her box? Well, I think that younger women should not be listening to women like this. Younger women should say that this woman is competing the only way she knows how, the only way she can compete. And that is manipulation of the competition. That's the only way that she can compete. If she had played her cards right, she would be a grandma giving sound advice that helps young women. But instead, she's out the club trying to twerk with a cane, hoping to compete with the young chippies. It's a sad state of affair. Not only does she represent competition, she represents poor competition, desperate competition. The competition that will do anything in order to win because it's more dire for her. Hit the like button for me, please. And thank you, Dolomite. All right, give me one moment. Monopoly of the bare minimum. Well, that's how monopoly is. Once something or an entity has monopoly on something, they can, and it's something that's considered a necessity, they can give you they can sell a inferior product at an inflated price because they know that you have nowhere else to go. So yes, absolutely. And for far too long, they have become used to having a monopoly because due to segregation and things like that, there was no competition. And because the civil rights movement brought unity amongst all Black people that don't really exist now, except amongst its women against its men. However, they use that unity to monopolize the commodity that is between their legs. Shaming language is used to get men to act right. Yes, it's used to get anybody to act right. It's only effective on Black men, simple-minded ones. Simple-minded Negroes who is stuck in a perpetual state of trying to impress their mamas. The title, yes. Yes, I do think that the title is hilarious. It is no secret of the Chinaman is a man that is, collectively speaking, on average, I think the world's tallest man is a Chinaman. Nevertheless, that doesn't mean that the aggregate, or excuse me, that the median or the average Chinaman is not only short in stature, but he's also short in penis size. So yes, I did turn that into a beautiful pun. And thank you for coming in and clicking the like button for that. Hold on one moment. All right. So let's read some more. Shaving her box still doesn't change the gray is still there. No, no, it doesn't. And shaving it really is like putting paint over a dent or something. Listen, no matter what, it is still grotesquely aged box. The only thing more aged in the box itself is the eggs which once housed it, or which was once contained within it. It's had its time. That time is over. It's a leftover remnant of its former glories. Hit the like button. Catchy thumbnail, to be honest. Yes. Yes, me love you short time, I thought was hilarious. And the fact that in the particular picture that I showed, the woman is taller than the man. And she's also taller than the men in the background and the men in the background of that. Sparkling wordplay. Are you talking about the title or the thumbnail? About business, salute to you. Says punch the like button. Appreciate you, brother. Huscular muscular. I can't see what the emoji is, but thank you nonetheless. In the club twerking with a cane, and she's not a Kappa. No, not that type of cane. For those of you who don't know, he's referring to Kappa Alpha Psi, which is the second Black Greek fraternity. It still exists today for over 100 years. In fact, it would be 114 years this year. Many of my friends are a member of this fraternity, and many of the people that you have grown to love are also members of this fraternity, including but not limited to rest in peace, Alan Roger Curry, and rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. Like all Black fraternities, they have a form of entertainment or tradition that's called step. However, what's unique to them is that they use a red and white cane to enhance their performance, not to stable their walk, as in the case of this 50-plus-year-old woman. Hit the like button again. And speaking of Kevin Samuels and Alan Roger Curry, Alan Roger Curry, may he rest in peace, passed while wed to a woman half his age and given life to said woman. They had a child together. They were married. This woman was in her 20s while he was in his 50s. Now, according to the woman that we just seen, Alan Roger Curry should be with her eggless self than to be with the younger, hotter, sexier childhood woman who is still the Mrs. Curry, the widowed Mrs. Curry. And Kevin Samuels had his last moments with a woman significantly younger than himself. These men did not exchange their best years for the woman's worst years. They're not stupid. They're legends. Shout out to the two of them. Shout out to Kappa Alpha Psi. All right. Oh Girl is a representation example of why it's a dating log jam on the female side. Absolutely. There's no sense of urgency in their youth. There's no sense of urgency in their youth, and their elders is teaching them not to have a sense of urgency, pretending that they don't have a sense of urgency themselves. It's a deceptive technique to eliminate competition, because at that age, you don't have youth, beauty, and fertility, but you do have influence over the women who do have youth, beauty, and fertility. Hit that like button. That's their only advantage in life. Giving African women the short end of the eggplant, LOL, you ain't. Yes, nor have I ever been that. But I'm not telling them something. You see, you got to understand. We're not dealing with, when I talk about the Chinaman and Orientals in general, we're not dealing with people who are sensitive about their sensitive qualities. They know what they're packing and they know what they're lacking. I once watched a special, I think it was on Thailand, where they simply said, and I can firsthand confirm this, not firsthand, I didn't touch it, but I can firsthand confirm this because I've been to the Philippines, that they do not have or sell American sized condoms. In fact, and they actually they use that word, not my word, their words. In fact, when the country was poorer and they were receiving aid in the form of contraception from America, they stated we can't use these because they're American sized. Now, me personally, I quite frankly, I wouldn't admit that, but they did. They don't have any shame about it, nor should they. It's just funny. Sweet Melody Media says, this may be TMI, but I think some of you want MI, more information. Says, I wax. So even when I'm old and gray, you'll never know. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. You think that we don't know the difference between a would-be gray vagina than a waxed black one? Come on now. We know the difference. Youth is not forever, ladies. Youth is not forever. Father Time is undefeated. Shout out to Sylvester Stallone. This modern time, a 5'7" guy like me couldn't get with a tall Ethiopian like that, but short stick, Mr. Chung, Ho Fat can claim. Well, we're going to get into that because I think that you can. And I don't think that she's tall. I just think that she's tall relative to this particular guy. 5'7" is still taller than the average woman, Ethiopian or American. I think that this guy is actually shorter than you are. But I don't know. I could be mistaken. Holding urine. Not everyone is Melissa Ford. Melissa Ford was describing the process and the symptoms of perimenopause. Now, though not everyone received symptoms the same way, I probably wouldn't just bank on a woman not aging naturally, if that makes sense. I mean, but is that where the bar is, Dominic D? Like, I want you to think about that for a second. Is that where the bar is? Are you going out to the bar, pun intended, getting with older women saying, with the hopes that she's able to not pee on you? Is that what we have reduced ourselves to? I mean, do you walk up to women in their 50s and say, hey, so what that thing do? And by what that thing do, you're actually asking, does it urinate randomly? Is that our new bar? We as Black men have a reputation for bottom feeding. That there, sir, is the definition of that. Going after old JJ, hoping that it don't urine on you. That's reverse R. Kellyism. On the flip side, Black men travel and stay winning with Asian women. We're definitely going to talk about that because there does seem to be a black and yellow international vaginal exchange going on. So yes, splash meds, yes. Yeah, Japan doesn't sell them either. Them things are like those finger condoms that people use for cuts. What's a finger condom? I use Band-Aids. It's a funny thing to say, but I'm picturing what would a finger condom look like. But thanks. That's funny. I'll be King Kong Bippy at 5'7" in Asia. You definitely will be taller. You definitely will. You definitely will be not looked upon as short. I think the average American height is like 5'10". So you definitely wouldn't be 5'9", 5'10". So, they're not going to look at you as like below average in height. So you would have that advantage. And then there's another thing, and I'm assuming that you're black here. There's another thing that goes on with Asia, and that is the perception of height when it doesn't exist. When I was in the Philippines, I spoke with a half black Filipino, which, by the way, is the most attractive mix of people that exist in the world to me. And she was telling me that well, just a brief history on her. She was actually born in the States, but her mother was deported and took her with her. And she had all types of problems because she don't have a birth certificate in the Philippines. And she's trying to gain American access because she actually has legitimate birthright to be here. So just a little background on that. She was telling me a lot about that. And her father is black. And she told me that when she take pictures with her cousins who are full Filipino, they always ask her to be on the back because she's the tallest. Except she's not the tallest. They look at her and see her skin color and assume that she's taller than she is, even while standing next to her. So let's just say she's 5'3", 5'4", and you have another Filipino girl who's 5'3", 5'4". They'll say, "Get in the back because you're taller." So the reason why I say that to you, Splash, is because you would probably look taller just by being black than another 5'7" Chinaman or Oriental of whatever country you go to. And yes, it is a stereotype, but hey, humans are humans. Oh dear, the U.S. contraception is too long for them. That's sad. Yeah, I mean, but our standardized tests are too easy for them. So, sacrifices, right? All right. Mr. Snazzy, what's up, GC? What's up to you? Hey, Melody. Salute to Melody. Let's see. I saw a worse example on this on Twitter. Very attractive 19-year-old Ghanaian marrying her much older Chinaman. The twist, or Chinese man, excuse me. The twist was he brought her back to China and she wasn't in much better conditions. We're definitely going to get into that aspect. And really, that's going to be the crux of what I talk about when I share the clip with you all. Okay. Mr. Snazzy. You're saying salute to Mr. Snazzy. Okay, it says thimble. Yeah. I never really used a thimble, but I've seen one. For those of you who don't know, thimble is a thing that people who sew put on their thumb because apparently the process of sewing, leaves your thumb vulnerable to pricks from needles. Very few people sew nowadays. So, but I do understand. I do remember. I'm old enough to have seen women who do that use a thimble. And there's also a Monopoly piece that's a thimble. They are very small, and yeah. So it is as he described. So I see what you're saying. Absolutely. Does all older vagina pee on themselves? Now, listen. All right. I said this last year around this time. Do not, and this is no hate to you, but I mean, I think you're new here. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Well, you already have, but go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Listen, the not all argument doesn't work on me. Okay. It doesn't work. So please do not attempt that here. It's a non-starter, sir. I'm not going to cater to the minority of something as if that's the standard. Just like I was to say, China people, both men and women, are short. You can say not all because there do exist some who are 7 foot out of their population of billions. But unless I actually state all, then challenge the general statement, not the statement in totality, as what you're doing. You've injected the word all into what I've stated and then negated your modified statement of what I stated. That doesn't work here. Finger gloves, seen those when they're working on my wristwatch. Oh, that's I didn't know that they use it for that too. Okay. I'm Jamaican in Jamaica. So yeah, I think that the average height there is taller. So that probably works against you. Yeah, I love Filipinos and Thai. They're beautiful. Yes, absolutely. You know what I found is that the ones here are actually more beautiful than the ones there. Like the ones in California are more beautiful than the ones in their own country. And it could be wealth, nutrition, things like that. Having braces when they're kids, or maybe like only the most beautiful ones come here. Facts, GC. Plus, my hair is so tall, it might make me look taller. Yeah. Let's see. The xenophobia is strong in China. I think what you're describing is what was once true in Japan. Um, I wouldn't say that they're xenophobic in China. I will say that they have proud cultural traditions. Um, Xenophobic? No, I wouldn't put that label on them. You know, they're a global, they're a world power. They have international trade. Yeah, I couldn't put that hat on them. I could once do it in Japan, but because they have their fertility crisis and stuff, they are now open to others just to have people. Blasians have always been my type. They're everybody type. They're Blasian. It is true. Older vagina turns into roast beef. Yes, absolutely. Like a Arby's sandwich. My type is Africa, Ethiopian, Sudanese. Yes, everyone likes to eat that. East African. They're the top, non-mixed race of people. Absolutely. The what do you call it? Habutsu or Habichu? They got good food too. In Asia, Vietnam, Thailand. I want Vietnam. Yeah, I've never been. Filipino, Europe, Russia, Ireland, Lithuania. So no Nordic. Oh well, you did say Lithuania. Never mind. Okay. All right. And I think this is the last one. This is the last one before I start. The CCP is xenophobic, not Chinese people. Okay, fair enough. The policies, fair enough. I can get jiggy with that. There's a lot of continental Africans living in China. Not as many Chinese in Africa, but there is a lot. Yeah, yeah. With this new international trade, that seems to be slowly changing as Chinese see economic opportunity in Africa and vice versa. But yeah, okay. So moving on, let's see. Habisa. Um, I know I heard the word before. I think I'm mispronouncing it. Really, more of a speech limitation than lack of understanding of the word. All right. So what's next? What's next? Oh, okay. Let's get into the show. All right. Give me a second. I got to go to my history to bring it up. Oh, crap. Why when I go to my history, it's never at the top, and I know I just watched it. Probably because I watch a bunch of other stuff. Here it is. Okay. Now, I try to avoid doing this, and that is creating reviews of reviews, and I instead go to the source. But I want to also talk about the person who's reviewing in this instance. And first, I'm going to give my physical critique of her, as I often do. This is what I would call an attractive woman. Very difficult to gauge her age. I do like her lips and I do like her eyes. It's shiny. I like the way she does her makeup and I like her heightened cheekbones. There are slight signs of aging, but nothing extreme to make her appear not effable. And once again, I do like how glossy her lips is. I can't stress that enough. All right, now let's begin. Hit the like button.
Sat down, wanted to film today's topic because it's a video that was sent to me, by the way. Shout out to Kenny for sending this video in. And the video was sent to me from Dr. Uma's page. So I was going on Instagram to go get the video because I had saved it, right? And this was the very first post that was on my feed on Instagram. Immediately I opened the app and I'm like, this is gorgeous. Art.
Immediate red flag. Immediate red flag. Immediate red flag. This is gorgeous, really? A gangsta grill with a bunch of African crap on it? Look like an ancient totem pole or something with one white tooth? Like this is gorgeous. Holy crap. This is an instant red flag. Now I've seen this. I've already seen this video. And notice I started off with the do compliments. But being my age, you've been in a situation where you realize that not all that glitters is gold. And women do say stuff that will turn you off instantly. One of those things being, imagine sitting down with a woman like this, just staring at the gloss of her lips, thinking like, ooh, man, I bet you those lips are slippery. I bet you they're slippery. They're slippery. Yeah. Ha. Y'all know what I mean. I bet you they're slippery. And you're thinking that. And you just can't wait to find out how slippery those lips are. And then she says something like, ooh, look at that grill. That's nice. Then it's like, oh, crap. It really gives you that feeling of, you'll ever press one in the chat room if you ever been on a date with somebody and you ask them something like, so what kind of movies do you like? And then they say Medea. It's like, oh, crap. Oh, crap. This is going to be a long night. This is going to be a long night. Yes, I still hit it, but this is going to be a long night. Hit the like button.
Grills done with gold. And it's like African theme. And I'm not even someone who like stop in their tracks when they see grills. Like, it's not my style exactly.
Okay, at least she admits that.
Anything wrong with grills. But you see this one, I've been looking at it and I'm like, there is no way I'm not sharing this. I've posted on my story for those of you who follow me on Instagram. This is amazing.
That is not amazing.
Wow. I love it. But let's get to today's topic. So for context, Chinese man goes to Ethiopia to ask for an Ethiopian woman's hand in marriage, to ask her parents to let him marry their daughter. But the setting was very weird.
Okay. I'm hoping that this is not the daughter sitting right here. I'm hoping that this is not the daughter. And the reason why I'm hoping that that's not the daughter is because she's not looking her best right now. She has this jumpsuit on and she has this, and I'm assuming that it's the daughter because she's the youngest woman there in the room, at least that we see. She's sitting there with her hair undid, with a jumpsuit on, Looks like it's velvet. This is beautiful. What is that? Velvet? Looks like it's velvet. With a sour look on her face. It's like, listen, this is your price. Shouldn't you be like looking your best? Like, so, you know, you can up the price right now. This is your price.
It's 3,000. He want to marry Zion. So today we come to discuss how we can go forward, because we meet some days ago and it seems like they like each other.
What is his income?
You know, in Chinese yuan or in Ethiopian bin is about 93,000 every month bill.
Okay. So I looked it up before. Well, I looked up what their currency is. It's actually called birr, BIRR, but the captions is not 100% perfect. But I'm gonna look this up again. She's gonna do it too, but I just want to have my own thing. So here, Ethiopian birr to US dollar. Where's that calculator? Here we go. Okay. So what do you say? 93,000. Is $763. So I think she's about to say that or something close to that, because currency value changes every day. But let's see.
Yes, every month.
I need to check how much that is. So 93,000 in Ethiopian birr is 726 USD.
Okay, so went up probably because of the tariffs.
Average salary in China is like 1,100 and something dollars, right? So he's like,
Wow, she knows that offhand. That really says something about her. Let's see. Average per month income in China. According to recent data, the average monthly income in China is around 29,300 won, which translates to approximately 4,214 USD per month. Now, so this guy is extraordinarily low earning, especially for his age. This guy is extraordinarily, so for those of you who have been called dusty, broke, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, this guy makes a fourth of what an average Chinaman makes. Now think about what that means. This means that she is getting the bottom of the barrel. Now, the reason why the family asked about this is because this is going to determine the living conditions. This is going to determine the living conditions of the daughter, which may translate well in Ethiopia right now, but, or, you know, to them, but it's not going to be, see, here's the thing. It's not going to be a good look for both Ethiopian and Black women. Somebody said this is a land grab. I would say that if he was wealthy, but he doesn't seem to be able to afford land in Ethiopia, China, or anywhere in the world because his income is low. Well, maybe he is. Maybe he's going to take his $736 and buy some land in Ethiopia that he couldn't afford in China. Who knows? But later they're going to explain that it's his intention to take her back to China, which is going to be a bad look. It's going to be a bad look just from a bird's eye perspective when you see a bunch of poor Chinamen with Black women. Black women will then develop a label of something that you get when you can't afford a white or Asian woman, which is really their current reputation. No matter how beautiful they are, they're going to look at you as a treat for broke people. And then their descendants, who will be mixed, of course, will be born into poverty, and then the stigma or the correlation in the Chinese psyche between darkness and poverty will become a realization because of deals like this. Dang, she got some nice lips. All right, let's continue.
Like below average. Why am I bringing this up? I made a video a couple of weeks ago talking about how there seems to be this propaganda going on, it seems, where
I can't tell because she's bowing, but it does look like she's taller than him.
they're trying to encourage Chinese people, especially Chinese men, to come to Africa to seek love. Some kind of like passport bro China edition arrangement going on.
Passport Bro did themselves a disservice when foreigners know you by name. They're not supposed to have your playbook already before you get there. Like, oh, you're a passport bro. I know that you're about this, this, and this, and I am going to alter my tactics in dealing with you by doing this, this, and this. Don't announce your playbook online, fellas. Just my opinion. This is a foreign woman. She's casually using the word passport. Oh, he's a passport bro.
And in that particular video, the person that was narrating said something in the lines of,
"Hey everyone, let me tell you something that's been quietly transforming the dating landscape. More and more Chinese men are turning their eyes to African women, and there are some seriously compelling reasons why. Look, the traditional Chinese dating scene has become a minefield. With
I don't like the way that they're translating his China words to American words. I don't. He don't look like he has that voice. So they could have found a voice that looks like, or that sounds like the way he looks. And furthermore, it doesn't have that Chinese 70s Chinaman movie when they translate a Bruce Lee movie. You don't have that same feel. Just saying.
sky-high expectations, constant financial pressure, and relationships that feel more like business transactions, many Chinese men are feeling completely burned out. But African women? They're offering something totally different, a breath of fresh air that's changing everything.
that's why I'm thinking about this man's money right now and what exactly is going on here, because this man is not even earning up to the average earner in China. And how maybe that might be something that is at play here. This man is thinking like a passport bro. I can't get a Chinese woman because of, my economic status. So let me go and look for a woman in somewhere that.
And you see, this is what I'm talking about the negative side effects of announcing your playbook online like that and over advertising what you're doing. Because look at how she's looking at passport bros as men who can't afford women. So automatically, this woman looks at women as a commodity, something that you either can or cannot afford. Automatic. So she doesn't have a ethical high ground to shame this Chinaman for doing the same. She don't. She's like, oh, you can't afford women in your own country. Oh, so there's something that you buy. So there's really nothing wrong with him buying this woman here because you just admitted that there's something that you buy. But that's how they look at it.
When I bring my currency there, it's going to be like big money. I mean, he could have genuinely fallen in love with this woman, but there is also the possibility that that's not what happened, and he's basically going to like buy a wife, right? And
because he can afford one in Ethiopia, but he can't afford one in China. You just stated that women are something to be afforded. So don't shame him for, and don't use your fake air quotes. He's going to buy a wife.
you will see why I said that as a conversation.
Okay, so The average income in Ethiopia is around 205 US dollars, which means that the average Chinese income is about 20 times the average Ethiopian income. So what does that mean? Well, that means that even a broke one like him, relatively speaking, 1/4 of the average is broke, especially for his age, which I don't know what it is, but I know it's old. China people age different than regular people. He's anywhere between 60 and 145. They live long too. But it's still broke for that.
Goes on with how they'll be conversing on this lady that he's trying to get, and the lady's parents is not even a cent in this equation because they did not help matters. And I too have my own beef with them, even though I don't know this person. But it's a woman in question we're talking here, and they are positioning their daughter like they're trying to sell her or something. And it's just sad.
He has his own house.
You're saddened by the price, lovely. You're not saddened by the concept. You feel that women should be sold, but they should only be sold for wealthy men who just so happen to be attractive enough to marry anyway.
House. Oh, he has his car.
Okay. Did he marry
Yeah, he married before.
before?
Yeah, but divorced.
Before?
Yes,
Did he have a child?
he has 2 daughters.
He divorced legal.
Oh yeah. With all the papers.
Which you divorced it?
See.
Oh, that is her. And yes, she is pretty, but she's not even trying. She's not even trying. Hit the like button, people.
This is a divorce certificate.
When she went to work, or when she go to China, what is the support of him for her family?
The mother.
Okay, so now we're getting into the brass tacks. Now we're getting in. Look at the look on her face. Now, I stated before and I'll state it again, Ethiopian / Eritrean women are the most beautiful women in the world. Why does she look so sad now? This is not good. Okay. But in addition to that, now they're getting to the brass tacks. They say, what is the support for the family? Now, I noticed that this is not only, this is a real thing in most of the world, including China itself. China, the women have bride prices, and we're going to talk about that. I think I have another video on that. It is relatively higher than an Ethiopian bride price, which they're going to get into now. But it's lower than an American bride price, and you get a lot more. And what do I mean by an American bride price? The American bride price is not paid before the wedding or before everything, and it's not paid to the family. The American bride price is a price that you pay after the woman leaves you. That is the American bride price. So if you get married to an American woman, and then after 5 years, she leave you and take half your crap and make you pay child support and alimony, that is her bride price. That is the price you paid for 5 years of being able to smash whenever she's willing to let you. That is the American bride price. It is much higher than the Ethiopian bride price and much higher than the Chinese bride price. And and they're actually getting brides out of this.
He got a brother.
Yeah.
That's what we know.
Yeah.
We don't. I propose
5,000?
bill every month.
I don't like that the women are talking and not the men. It's a bad look for Ethiopia. but it could be their culture, because even Romans did that. Well, no, the Romans, the men talked. Let me see. Who else did that? I'm thinking of successful civilizations where India, modern day India, they do that. But the price is paid for the son, which is a cultural difference. But in India, the mother arranged a marriage. I know this because I had colleagues who did exactly that, who talked to their mother, and their mother actually had a lineup of women, daughters of her friends, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, that and I'm thinking about one particular former coworker that told me this is how he met his wife, that he interviewed. Essentially, he interviewed all of the potential women, and he settled, and he made his pick. But it was through the mother, not the father. So maybe they have a similar tradition and custom, given their proximity to India. I wouldn't doubt it. So I shouldn't be so quick to judge.
She went to work, or she go to China. What is the support of him for her family?
The mother, he got a brother.
Yeah.
That's what we know.
Yeah.
We don't. I propose.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They're asking if he has a big family. So, and that's good. That's actually a very good question. Like, what can she look forward to? Is he just some guy, a single child of a single child of a single child, and she'll just be there cooking and cleaning with no family reunion, no nieces, nephews, and stuff like that? So, yeah, that is something that is actually very good question. So we're dealing with people who's done this for generations, because I wouldn't even thought to have asked that. If a young man were to ask me for my daughter's hand, I wouldn't even have thought to ask that.
5,000
bill every month. Better you.
Oh wait, I missed it.
Yeah.
That's what we know.
Yeah.
We don't. I propose.
Yeah. 5,000
bill every month.
Okay, so I'm gonna look up how much that is. $5,000 beer every month is $39.60. Now, their reaction, I can't tell by their reaction if it's too much or too little, but they're all saying, oh, like it's insulting, or they're saying, oh, like that's a lot. Now, keep in mind that their average income is $205 per month. So what he's offering is less than what they would probably get if she just lived with them and got a job. I mean, of course, there's expenses of the upkeep of her, but so I'm curious, and y'all should be curious. I've already seen this, but let's see where this goes. Somebody says, can a guy like me go to China and hand off a top 100 beauty in China with such meager dowry? Hell nah. Well, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't be so quick to say no. I wouldn't be so quick to say no to that. Okay. Jesus, this is difficult to explain, but America is one of the few places on earth where a woman's beauty determines her worth. So now keep that in the back of your mind while I say this, meaning that there are very few American women who are both poor and beautiful for an extended period of time. A beautiful woman who was born into poverty would soon be taken out of poverty or have a number of opportunities to be taken out of poverty. Not even through marriage, even though that's an option. there's also like OnlyFans, or really just being a pretty receptionist at the front of a successful business. You know, so you're not going to find many poor, beautiful women in America. Most of the rest of the world have extraordinarily impoverished homeless women. And I know that that's unheard of. That is unheard of here in the States. And it seems ludicrous, but employment is really not based on beauty as it is here. Employment is based on family connections. Which is, and you know, I've seen it firsthand. So the very woman I was telling y'all about earlier, who was half Black and Filipino, she when she was in my hotel room, so the airline gave me a free blanket, you know, for the trip, and then I took an extra one because the seat next to me was empty. And I took it just in case on the ride back they wouldn't have a blanket for me. And she seen it. It was brand new. It was fresh, and it was still in the plastic. And she said, "Can I have this?" And I looked at her strange, like, "What? You want my blanket? I need that on the flight. I might need that on the flight back." And then she explained to me that she lived on, or she slept on a piece of cardboard. So she lived in an abandoned building that was once a factory, that she pays the local whomever a certain amount to live there every month. So I don't even know if the person officially or legally owns that building. It's probably like some local gang, you know, strong arm, like this my territory. If you want to sleep here, you know, you gotta pay, you gotta check in, or it could be some crap like that. I don't know how that works. But so it's like it's a hall with a bunch of other people, some of whom are attractive women, I'm sure. And she sleeps on cardboard there. That's unheard of here because, you know, she would have found a job that suits her beauty in the US. That being said, right now in China, there is an extraordinarily attractive woman working in a Nike factory for 12 plus hours a day that would love a mediocre American to housewife her.
Better you propose. Because why I get this 5,000 is according to his monthly income.
14,000, 40.
Okay. He said 5,000. They said 40,000. Now the bottom it said 14, but no, like you see here, the you know, the YouTube closed captions said 14,000, but they made it a point to say 40. This is not 14. This is 40. Now he makes 93,000, so they're demanding half of what he makes, nearly half of what he makes. So, which is $316.83 a month, in a country where the average income is $205. So they're asking for 50% more than the average income. I find this negotiation process fascinating. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I find this negotiation process fascinating when you're dealing with international negotiations, especially when you're dealing with something like marriage. And the reason for that is because the understanding of value. It's like you have something that's valuable to me, but not necessarily valuable to you. Your daughter's marital function holds no value to you, but you do understand that it holds a high value to me. So, they're negotiating accordingly. But he on his with his understanding is like, listen, I know that my money holds a high value to me, or excuse me, to you. And I know that the money that she would make outside of this is of low value to you as well. And she does come at a cost of her own that I would be absorbing. So this whole process I always like the negotiation process. When I graduated college, it was either 2 or 3 times that I got completely hosed by white boys in the salary negotiation process. And that's because the amount that they would offer me is not only significantly higher than what I was making in college, but it was also significantly higher than what my father made. So I really thought that I was balling, but it was significantly lower than industry standard for entry level software engineers. So I got hosed. But what's more disturbing is that they seen it coming. They looked at me, they looked at my skin color, and I grew up poor, for those of you who don't know. So they put all this together and say, you know something, I can get away with paying GameChanger this amount, until I really started negotiating and valuing myself. So I do find process like this interesting.
Every month.
Every month.
They are basically priced in
40,000.
Yeah.
I think that is not possible.
How much?
Look at that
7,000 bill. Every month, 7,000 bill.
basically building this man to take care of the entire family. So by the time you are
So, okay, I'm translating this. Hold on, let me do that. So the 40,000 is $316. He responds with $55. Basically, he's saying, "Give me your daughter's box for the price that GameChanger pays for StreamYard, for his StreamYard account every month." 24 costs me, I think it's like $34.99. 24-hour fitness. I'm trying to think what petty thing I pay for that costs that little. That costs like $55. Let me look at my Wells Fargo. Give me a second, because I'm curious. Like what do I pay every month? That's like $55. Oh no, that's Smart Final. That's groceries. Hold on, let me see. I'm proud of myself. I really avoid monthly subscriptions to stuff. Shout out to the people who I do support. I am a channel member of, and shout out to the people who are channel members of me. Let's not forget that. All right, here's one. So I have a water cooler. My cable is tied to my internet zone. So, and plus I got all the stuff, not that I watch a lot of TV, but I got all the stuff for company. For me, it's kind of embarrassing. Like, hey, you have people come over, sometimes they bring their kids, and it's like, hey, do you have such and such? To me, you look broke when you don't have a certain channel. I don't know why. So no, mine's is more than $55 a month. And it's tied to my internet, so it's more still. In fact, I think that's like my largest miscellaneous bill. That's larger than my phone bill. But every month I buy water. Not every month. Well, it's about every month, give or take. I buy water by the 5-gallon jugs, and that's still a little less, but I'm gonna use that. Basically, he's saying that your daughter's box is worth less than like Alhambra jugs of water. You know, actually, a better analogy. Her marriage, her hand in marriage, and her box is worth less than looking at box on OnlyFans. Let's see. Hold on. I'm gonna Google how much is the average OF OnlyFans subscription. Hold on. How much is the average on $7.21? Okay, so I thought it was higher. So these chicks that talk like they're balling, they're not really balling. So basically, actually having her box is worth less than like 5 to 10 OnlyFans subscriptions.
I've done this now. How would this man respect this woman? These are the captions you would find written on this video as posted on Dr. Umar's page. What's going on here? Is this a rice puppy auction for an African queen? Don't do this. It's a scam for citizenship to steal our resources. Why are they acting like this is an auction? Imagine Ethiopians going to China and doing this. I had initially trimmed out the cap.
It's not difficult to imagine. This is something that's done worldwide, including America. The only thing that's really different or uncommon here on an international scale is that the parents are doing the negotiating. But make no mistake, like, you know, even our own beloved Janet Jackson did something very similar to this. Now, it was for a ridiculously higher markup, but make no mistake, women do commoditize themselves.
Captions because they make the video look too busy and some people might find it hard concentrating. Personally, I find it hard concentrating when the screen looks very busy. So I thought some people might find it hard as well. So I trimmed it out. But I personally agree with every single freaking thing written on the caption because like the setting looks more like an auction than it looks like a man coming to seek a woman's hand in marriage from her.
It doesn't. Let's be fair. It doesn't look like an auction because she's not on a block. In fact, I had to question, as y'all heard me earlier, like, is this the one that he's considering? Because she's just kind of sitting there in plain clothes with her hair undid. You know, like, I mean, if she was like on a bikini with a number on her, you know, on her bikini bottom or something like that, and you know, and just standing there while he talks, and then, you know, he's like 7,000 beer. And then they say, turn around. And he's like, oh, 9,000. I didn't know she was packing all that. You know, that would be an auction.
Her family. Even if this man were to provide that amount on a monthly basis for you, over time, that's going to result in this man resenting that woman,
depending on the amount, yes.
And that's going to lead to issues in the marriage if that marriage don't have issues from the job. I see issues from the job, but
I don't see issues from the job.
Let's say they get married and he agrees to that. He's going to eventually start seeing it as a...
I don't know what country she comes from, but she comes from a country that either practices dowries or is familiar with the custom due to a neighboring country. So let's not be obtuse. You understand how that works, and you understand that it doesn't necessarily cause bitterness and hostility between the negotiator and the negotiated. You understand that. Let's not be obtuse. You can say that, you know, the age difference may cause problems. What will happen, you know, after his demise and she's still reasonably youthful, will probably cause problems in her own personal life in the near future. like you could say these things, but not the process itself, not the process that has been practiced by so many cultures throughout the beginning of human civilization. Let's not do that. Let's not crap on the culture of others.
Extortion is going to even start seeing it as more reason not to respect this woman, because in his mind, I am constantly paying to have you. And who is he going to take that anger on? The parents are setting her up for failure. They're basically setting the tone of why this man should not respect this woman, should not respect their daughter. This situation just reminded me of.
Okay, now this is my thumbnail picture. Look at the look on her face. But also look at, she's taller than not only him, but him and this guy's taller than her. And yeah, this guy too. But she should not be towering over so many of their men like that. It's weird. In order for that to happen at a black wedding, a woman would have to be like 6'1". For it to happen in a black or a white American wedding, she would have to be like 6'1", to have this effect. And yeah, it's a shallow thing, but I thought it'd make a crazy thumbnail. And somebody brought up her attire. Yes, it does seem like she is embracing her culture, or excuse me, his culture, and not vice versa. Also, she's alone here. She's alone here. Her family is not there. They're like, they don't have a bride side and a groom side. They just have a groom side.
Of a YouTube shot I saw a couple of days ago. Thank goodness I saved that shot, because it comes in handy right now, right? And the shot was about a Chinese man marrying an African woman. And if you see the way that man was treating her in public.
Today is their happy day, but you see the groom's attitude towards the bride is really bad. Love must come from both sides. Maybe this
Even her hair is like a China woman.
is matchmaking love. How's your marriage?
First comments, get around, because it looks like he'll be abusive towards you.
Okay, and now we have the standard sisterhood hate. Yeah, it is awkward and weird that they can't get the hand holding right. I don't know. It's not confusing. He's one of them is physically awkward, and uncoordinated, or maybe it's just a height difference that's throwing everything off. But yeah, something is wrong. I'm not going to give him the abusive thing just because he has a moment of anger. But I mean, the sisterhood is against all marriages. I want y'all to remember that the sisterhood is against all marriages. So, they're going to pick apart any means of happiness.
He's willing to do that in front of so many people. Imagine what he will do when they are alone. The point I'm trying to make is sometimes the signs are there. Now we just close eye. We are the ones refusing to see it, right? Because quote unquote love or whatever obsession that you have that you cannot get over, you're thinking, you can change him, whatever. I don't know anything about this guy that wants to marry this Ethiopian lady. For all we know.
One thing about Ethiopians, though they're the most beautiful women in the world, they be having some foreheads on them. East African women in general, they be having some foreheads on them. They are a 5-head group of people. Like, look at this. Look at this one. Look at this one. But she don't have it. So yeah, like you find yourself an Ethiopian without the without the 5-head, you good.
He just might be a nice guy, but he could also not be a nice person, and we don't know. But her parents, her family members acting the way they are acting, selling her shots the way they are, just may have signaled to this man, if he's not a good person, that it's okay for him to do whatever the
fuck he wants to do to their daughter. They have signaled to him that what they care about is money and not their daughter. And if this man just happens,
It's not a signal. He's not receiving it that way. You see, here's the thing. Actually, I'm going to send this to her so she'll get my perspective and maybe she'll respond. But here's the thing. She's not upset that she's being sold. She admitted earlier that, he can't afford women in China. So women are a commodity. He's upset that she's being sold at a small price, because when a man buys a woman at a small price, it lowers the price of all other women. Okay, so those of you who are homeowners, you know that part of the negotiation process is what's the selling price of other houses in the neighborhood, particularly on that block, if one was sold recently. Did a house on that block sell recently? What's the size of it? How much did it sell for? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, if that house sold low, then you have the right to say, wait a minute, this person got this home at this price. Why are you charging me this price for a home that 2 months ago was sold for this price? See, women understand this because they do look at their box as a commodity, and their life's mission is to increase the value of said commodity. And that's what she's doing. She heard that 7,000 beer, which is $55.45. And she's like, okay, how can I sell my box for $20K a month, which is what Tyrese Gibson's ex-wife got? How can I sell my box for $20K a month when a man can buy younger, hotter, sexier, childless for 55, 45?
to be a bad person, that lady is screwed if she decides to go on with this marriage even after witnessing all that is happening. Because if she does, if this man ends up being abusive in that marriage, she would not even have a family that will have her back.
Okay. There are safeguards against this, against things like that. Just like there's safeguards if he decide to not pay his monthly dues, so to speak. If he decides to not pay his monthly dues, then I'm assuming that they'll just like refund their daughter, or, tell the daughter to come back, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So if they feel that he's treating her poorly, and the first few questions they asked was about her treatment, if they felt that he would treat her poorly, then they would, I'm hoping that, they would have safeguards against that. But let's just say that they don't. And this is a complete crap family, right? What do complete crap families do in America? They pimp their daughters. They set their daughters up for failure. Maybe if she's lucky, they'll hope that she get a government job, back when they had those for women, like for poor women. And then they mooch off that government job forever.
Because the family would be like, oh, you know how misogynistic our society is. We know how wives become.
Okay, so she's a feminist. You know how misogynistic our society is. Okay. Every society where a woman isn't doing her hot girl summer until she's 55 years old is misogynistic. That's the thing. See, cultures understand that, if women, if you leave it up to women, they'll have fun. They won't have kids. There'll be no kids. There'll be no families. Everything will just be, in complete disorder and disarray, but the women get to do what they want to, and it's not misogyny. Nobody should be able to get to do everything that they want. That's absurdity. That's chaos.
Calling their parents to say, oh, mommy, daddy is putting hands on me, and mommy, daddy will be talking about some, you have to be, or you can't divorce and bring shame to the family. Or, and if they are Christian, they'll start quoting scriptures where you're talking about some divorce is a sin or you go to hell. And in this case, when you bring in the fact that these people are requesting for this man to give them monthly allowance to take care of their own family, you think these people would want to let go of that monthly allowance and choose their daughter? Like from the very beginning, they're telling us that they care more about that money than they care about their daughter, because they've spent more time discussing that monthly allowance than they've even spent trying to know whether this man in question is a decent human being or not for their daughter to be with. I mean,
well, there isn't a question that they could ask that they would expect a direct and honest answer. What are they going to do? Say, hey, by the way, are you a decent human being? No, I'm very indecent. I'm going to do some, erotic, absurd things with my little penis to your daughter's vagina. So just like, what do you expect? No, they ask reasonable questions. What's your family life like? How much do you make? The whole how much do you make is really in regards to, I'm hoping, in regards to what lifestyle will my daughter be kept in. And then they also ask things like, what assets do you have? Do you have a car? Are you going to like walk my daughter to a laundromat every day or every week to wash clothes? Well, that's another thing. Like, hey, do you have a dishwasher? Do you have a washing machine? I'm pretty sure the daughter want to know that. Do you have cable? Do you have English television? Like, yeah, they could have asked more, but I wouldn't say he spent more time discussing. Well, the only reason why it seems like that is because it's a back and forth. Like they're not agreeing on anything.
I mean, come on, this man said he was divorced with 2 kids, and nobody asked him why he was divorced. What?
Oh, and that was another thing they asked. They was like, okay, so you're divorced with 2 kids, and then they asked for proof of the divorce.
Happened in his previous marriage that led to the divorce? Well, let me play devil's advocate and say maybe they did, right? But because the clip was cut and edited, we can see it has been cut, right? So maybe that part of the clip did not make it into the one that we are reviewing right now. So I think I'll just end it here because we cannot speak conclusively, because a lot of things just may have happened that we did not get to see. But still, that don't make this clip the way it is right now any less weird.
Make it 10.
No, 10.
Make it 10.
Every month.
Yeah.
That is a huge negotiation drop. And this is why, fellas, you need to negotiate everything. Everything in life you need to negotiate, because people is always out to get you. Don't be that person that walk into a car dealership just paying what's there. Do not be that person that just walks into a car wash and or not a car wash, but a car dealership, like, oh, this car costs this much. Okay, that's how much it costs. Negotiate everything and always be willing to walk away. Because they started off at $40K. And then and now they're at 10. Now they're at 10. They were willing to settle for a fourth of what they asked for. So hold on. $79.21. That is, I think that's my AT&T bill. That's my phone bill. That's my cell phone plan bill. I have unlimited data and international, meaning that, when I go on trips, I could just use my phone like I'm here in the States for the rare occasion that I go on trips. Let me see my AT&T. Hold on. Because I don't want to give like a fake advertisement to AT&T. And find out I'm overpaying for my. Let me find out I'm overpaying for my crap. Because I know I went to buy a watch and they was talking some craziness, so I went to Best Buy. Hold on. ATT wireless. All right, let's see. Why does it say blocked? Why did malware block it? Hold on. All right, I'm not going to look it up because it's not auto-completing in my URLs. Hold on, let's see, www.att. It's going to att.net, and that's not what I want. I want AT&T wireless. What is this? This is a news site. Fuck you. They don't want me to know how much I pay. Now I'm curious. In fact, I'll just go to Wells Fargo. No, I'm not even going to do that. All right, let me play some more.
Okay. He said okay. Because he loves her. What can he do? Love can too much because it according to that figure is small. We can buy a heavy ring, heavy one. But if that cost is too much, then he don't have too much extra money. Then we buy a smaller one. Simple.
It's for the ceremony, everything. For ring, for clothes, for food, for everything. For everything. 7,000.
7,000. Okay, let me calculate. Careful.
He called her to.
To confirm. Yeah. Yeah, because if he said okay, today, tonight, tomorrow he has to prepare that money. Yeah. If he has to also.
That's the rest of the clip, and I swear I don't even know what to say right now at the end.
I want to know if they agreed on a price. Homie is broke. Homie is broke. Listen, you're talking about when in wife prices, you're talking about the difference between 7,000 and 10,000 beer, which is like the difference between $55 and $79 a month for a whole wife. For a whole wife, dude, you broke. Look at your hat. You broke. Zone said China man using a calculator, bad Asian man. He should be able to do the math in his head. That's why he's broke. That's why he's broke. That is some shameful Asian crap. That you are. You should be ashamed of yourself. You are negotiating the difference, but on a monthly basis for a whole wife, an attractive one too. One who is literally like a fifth your age. And you saying all I got is 55. Can you do it for 55? I can't go to 79. Somebody says, how long are these monthly payments? I don't know. That is, Joan said, how long are these monthly payments? I don't know. That is actually a very good question. I'm assuming that it's in perpetuity. It's in perpetuity, or in perpetuity at worst, meaning that you're paying for this even when you're 60, for as long as the family lives. It's either that, or you're paying it until your kids start paying you, like, until you have a daughter, and that daughter and somebody marries her and pay you to bride. That's it could be either or. I'm not familiar enough with the culture, and it is a shame too, because for men to be as attracted to the women as I am, I should be at least familiar with how that aspect works. To be perfectly honest, I don't care. And here's why: because it's a negligible amount. And here's what I mean by that. Meaning I've had bills that I didn't know existed, that I was paying on every month, that was around $55. And that includes stuff like Zoom. for example, or I think I like downloaded the paid version of Acrobat Adobe for a month for whatever reason, and forgot to cancel. In fact, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think like dating sites cost that amount, and people forget to, like people be married with kids and, forget that they still have their Bumble account, that they're still paying on their Bumble account. So it's really negligible in the scheme of things when you're thinking about overall value, because let's just keep sex out of it for a second. Let's just keep her sexual value out of it. You know how much it costs for my maid service to have someone come to your home and clean a room or clean your entire place? I'm not going to say how much I pay, because I really don't want to reveal the size of my house. But for those of you who rock with me for a long time, y'all know that I don't like cleaning up after myself. Hold on one second. All right, let me see. Okay, have to respond. I multitask. When y'all hear me during the day, it's because I'm multitasking. So I'm monitoring what I'm doing at work while I'm talking to you all, while I'm reading the chat. Yeah, I do a lot. I do a lot at once. But where was I? Oh, I'm not going to say how much it is, but it's significantly higher than 10,000 beer a month. So just by her taking away from that cost, just by her, I don't have to pay for maid service any longer. Then that would be a significant up. And let's just but let's put that aside for a second. That's extreme. And that's someone who makes what I make. That would be how much she would save me. But let's just say if I didn't make much money, right? And let's just say I made I don't know, 36K, right? Less than average. And like 2/3 of it goes to rent. Even with her at that price, just by her cooking, she's saving on fast food, Uber Eats, and stuff like that. In fact, because she's cooking and I don't have to, and because she's cleaning and I don't have to, I now have more time that I can do a couple of hours of Uber Eats myself, and that covers the cost right there. Hold on. Let's see. How much do a Uber driver make a day? No, I want to say an hour. In California, Uber drivers make $21.83 per hour on average. So let's just say with her cooking and cleaning, she's saving you a couple of hours a day, right? And she don't have to work 8 hours. She just cleans up and cooks for a couple of hours a day, and that adds a couple of hours to your day because you don't have to do that. And so now, if you live in California, you can use that to make $41 or $42 a day. It pays for itself. So, and this nigga negotiating.
It's a very sad video.
So I was done editing this video and I was just about to post it, but I started thinking, wait a minute, could it be that this is probably how it's done in Ethiopia? This is probably the tradition. Maybe this is how dowries are.
It is a tradition. Hold on. Here, let me show you. Ethiopian dowry. I'm typing dowry. In Ethiopia, a dowry is a transfer of money or goods from the bride's family to the bride. That doesn't make sense. The bride's father determines the amount of the dowry. Okay, so these people are off code. These people are off code, and I was right to judge them harshly. Unless Wikipedia is off code or Google's off code. The bride's father decides the amount of the dowry. The traditional Ethiopian wedding is called the talash. On the wedding day, the groom and best man arrive at the bride's home, blah, blah, blah. Song is sung. Okay, so. All right. So I'm reading this, and I'm not sure if I understand it right, what they mean when they say a dowry is a transfer of money or goods from the bride's family to the bride. Well, yes, I do. Yes, I do, because we do this at Black American and Black American weddings. You know how, and actually we did it in Indian weddings where some weddings you dance with the bride or you dance with the groom and you give them money, you know. And you've seen it on the movie, not Big Mama's House. What's the name of that movie? Soul Food. You know, when they had a young Nia Long and she was dancing and you know, the people put the money in her dress and stuff like that. So yeah, I do understand that custom. So I think that this girl might be right. I think that I think that these people aren't following an existing tradition. And if they're not, then they're just some assholes that's selling their daughter, which I can't condone. I can't back that up. If you're not following some type of cultural construct, I can't back that up. All right. Here, I'm looking further into it. It says the bride's father decides the amount of the dowry. The dowry may include cattle, sheep, and goat, honey, coffee, and butter. Also advisable. Okay, so the more I read about it, the more it seems like these people are off code. And at best, the closest that they would have is like West African cultures where a dowry is like a one-time lump sum of goods and gifts that is negotiated by the father, not a steady payment forever. And I've dated West African. I've dated East Africans too, just not for an extended period of time. But and yes, that is true. And yes, they do want you to pay, even if you are an American in America, just as she is. They don't care. They want you to pay. And you don't even have to discuss with her how much it is, but they want to know that you went through the proper steps and you paid the proper amount that's negotiated by her father. Yeah. So in the sense of the woman that I was dating, for an extended period of time, the West African woman, her father had money in his own right. He also had 3 wives. So the one that I was with was the daughter of his second wife. I think she was the oldest daughter of his second wife. I don't know. We didn't reach the stage of a relationship where I actually had to have the negotiation talk with her father. Quite frankly, I don't know how that would play out. I would always feel like I would be being taken advantage of because any price he requires from me would be significantly higher than one that he would require had she married someone local to her native country. So yeah, so that is a thing. And from what I've and this is just from having African friends and stuff, sometimes it's just a formality. Like, you know, you buy the family a beer and some chips and, you know, or maybe some some tickets to a game or something like that. Sometimes it's just a formality. So actually I should have did it just to see how that works, because I'm curious about stuff like that. But anyway, let me see what about Ethiopians in particular, because just so y'all know, Ethiopia and the surrounding country of like Eritrea, which was formerly Ethiopia, their culture and customs is going to be significantly different than most of Africa, considering their proximity to Egypt in ancient times, and the influence that came from people like the Ottomans and stuff like that, and the ancient Egyptians, as well as their border to I think it's the Black Sea or the Caspian Sea, but nevertheless, so they're going to be culturally a lot different than other Africans. Just throwing that out there. That being said, I want to see what their culture is on this. So let me actually go to Wikipedia. The Tesme tribe has about 5 different types of weddings. Okay, I don't want to hear about all of that. Let's see. The elders talking to the father agree on a dowry, leave the house and go home. The bride's father decides the amount of the dowry. The dowry may include cattle, sheep, and goat. Honey, coffee, and butter are also advisable. So it doesn't seem like it's money. Like they made it a point to where it's not a cash thing. And now I think about it, she was saying that too. That's probably what dude was saying. Like you give him some beer, or you don't. So I think they make it a point to not make it a cash exchange. I'm pretty sure that there's a cultural reason for that. I could see the definite benefits of that. On the wedding day, unlike other cultures in Ethiopia, the men isn't supposed to go to her house. The man isn't supposed to go to her house to take her to his house. Okay, let me read this again. I'm not grasping what they're saying. On the wedding day, unlike other cultures in Ethiopia, okay. So in this particular culture, the man isn't supposed to go to her house to take her to his house. Somebody, if you can understand that better than I can, feel free to state it in the comment section. Instead, the bride's brothers and relative takes her to the groom's house. After eating the food and enjoying all the preparations made by the groom's family for a day, the relatives of the bride go back to their homes. Okay, I get what they're saying. If not invited by the bride's relatives and family. Okay, so now they're just talking about the wedding procedure. Now, I want to hear more about the dowry. Okay. All right. So I scanned it on Wikipedia, and here's what I conclude. That it's many cultures. Oh, wait. Are y'all looking? Oh, no. I thought y'all were looking at my other screen. But from what I can gather, it's many cultures. It's many cultures, and every tribe is doing their own thing. So it's very likely that these people aren't off culture. So it is what it is.
Done. So I decided to go into the comment section to see what Ethiopians are saying in the comment section, if there are any Ethiopians there, so we can get educated. Who knows, this might be their culture, right? So I went over there to the comment section, and I did come by one Ethiopian person. This person said they are Canadian Ethiopian and they do not approve this. Also, the sad part is when us Ethiopian men ask them for marriage, they act like hard to get here in North America.
Wait, what? Okay, I'm gonna just, because maybe it's our accent, or also the sad part is when us Ethiopian men ask them for marriage, they act like hard to get here in North America. And I'm setting the grammar aside, because we do have like a lot of, useless words in the English language. So I do understand where they're coming from, but what does that have to do with anything? But back home, some households don't give a fly, I guess. This 1 in a million, not everyone in Ethiopia does this. Of course not. Of course not. Actually, they don't approve outside to other foreign. This guy is marrying her to get a bloodline inheritance so he can rob Africans easily. He is a gangster. Well, he's broke. I don't really know. I don't think so.
But back home, some households don't give a fly, I guess. This is 1 in a million. Not everyone in Ethiopia does this. Actually, they don't approve outside to another foreigner. There's typos here. So I'm guessing this person meant maybe in Ethiopia, they don't really approve foreigners much for their children to get married to. They went further to say,
Okay, she's probably not gonna read this part, but I'm gonna read it to y'all. It says, also here in America, there are real pimps who traffic their own kind. So the comparison is too little, too much. It could be a marriage dowry. The Chinaman is 100% very sketchy. He didn't really give sketchy vibes. He gave broke vibes, but Chinese don't really advertise their wealth the way blacks do. But he definitely gave me not only broke vibe, but broke for his age vibes. He gave me the vibe of a guy who is divorced. He's had all the children that he's going to have, and he's looking for his last leg of happiness before he go to Chinaman heaven. That's what it looks like he's doing to me. No, the Cash App is reversed. The Cash App is GameChanger 00100. Kevin Murray. But thanks anyway.
this guy is marrying her to get a bloodline inheritance so he can rob Africans easily. He's a gangster. Also here in America, there are real pimps who traffic their own kind. I'm guessing he's talking about the Chinese man now, or Asians, I don't know, saying that they traffic their own.
No, he's talking about Black Americans. By the way, he's Canadian. He's talking different. Of course he's continentally American, but he's implying something else.
Own women. So the comparison is little too much. I really don't understand what this person meant there. I don't know if he's trying to say that it's almost like the same thing what the Asians are doing over there, pimping their women or trafficking their women. It's almost like the same.
Okay. So somebody said something. It says, GC, this guy's a fool. He's trying to say, dude married her to get into African line. Yeah, that's something that's being done. It's kind of like if a beautiful woman were to come to America to get citizenship from, and marrying the citizenship. So no, I understand that. And perhaps they should adjust that particular law for that reason. Or perhaps they want to welcome foreigners to do that. So, depending on what their divorce laws are. But I don't think that's the case here because he's broke. Like, I can't stress that enough. Like what you are describing, what this DJ Blythe is describing is something that a wealthier person will do. It's like, oh, I want to buy this oil-rich plot of land over here, so I'm just gonna marry a local Ethiopian gal and have my real Chinese wife here. That doesn't seem like this is the case. It seems like he's an old Chinaman that's trying to enjoy his later years. He's broke. He's not looking to make any major business deals. He don't give that vibe. I could be wrong. Just saying.
Into what this family is trying to do to their daughters. I don't know if he's insinuating that or saying that they are pimping her off to him or trafficking her off to him. I don't know. That line is just a bit unclear to me. But he went on and he said it could be a marriage dowry. The China man is 100% very sketchy. But anyways, guys, that's the video. I really don't know what more I can say at this point. But I guess I'm just going to keep the floor open for you guys to come in and share your own thoughts and opinions. Thank you very much for watching. Let's continue this conversation down below in the comment section. And of course, as always, I'll be catching you guys in the next one.
Okay, so that's that. Let me get out of here. All right, let me see our comments. Y'all been active in the comment section, so let me see what's going on here. Oh, okay, here we go. GC, technically it's given to the daughter as both she and the money come to marriage. From whom? So the family is giving the daughter money. So yeah, that's what I described with the black weddings here. And really, I mean, I get the vibe like from the weddings I went to, most of which were black, that you're just helping to offset the cost of the wedding itself. You know, they're a young couple, they saved up for this wedding, and it'd be nice if everybody kicked in so they could start their life off with a savings, not a debt from the wedding. So, which makes sense to me. I wouldn't even call that a dowry. That's more like a wedding gift. Melly Monaco is goofy. Where did that come from? If it's forever, then that add up. That wouldn't be cheaper to marry a Chinese chick instead. No, it wouldn't. Listen, okay. All right, so since you brought that up, what are you talking about? Roland Martin. Okay, so hold on. Hold on, let's see. Here we go. Dang, I just had it. Hold on, give me a second. I seen this headline and we're gonna watch it right now. Dang it. I just had it. Here, I'll just click that. There we go. Oh, y'all can't see my screen. Okay, give me a second, y'all. Hit the like button while I'm doing this. I want to apologize ahead of time. I cannot stand Chinese accents. I really can't. Some of them. I think the one is Mandarin. It's one of them that sound like crap. Okay, look at the title here. Chinese woman demands 88 something strange dowry from Dutch boyfriend. All right, so let's just see how much that dowry is. So I'm assuming that's China money. So let me just see. Hold on. Yen. YUAN to USD. All right, let's see. $12,072. Now we're going to divide that by the $80 that they were asking for what's her face, and then we'll see how much how many months he would get out of her before it's a loss, before it's a net loss. All right, let's see. All right, what is this? Hold on, let me see. How many did I say? 12,000. Okay. 12,072 divided by 80. Now something is wrong. Hold on. I did something wrong. 1,000. Dang. This calculator. All right. Here, give me a second because I'm using my phone, but I keep getting calls and stuff while that happens. $150 months. So he would get 150 months of marriage out of her, which is 12 years before he actually loses out. Now, keep in mind that, if she's contributing properly in those 12 years, then it's earned. It's earned. So I disagree. I think that he's getting and Ethiopian women are hotter than China women. Let's not forget that.
Outdated practice of paying a bride price in China is once again under
and have prettier babies. Some of those China babies look weird. So yeah, let's not forget that part too.
scrutiny. A Chinese doctoral student studying in Rotterdam, the Netherlands, reportedly asked her Dutch boyfriend for 88,000 euros as a bride price.
Oh, these are euros. I haven't seen this. These are euros. Oh crap. So she's asking for a lot then. Hold on. So she asked for $91,000. Yeah, Zone, you was wrong on that. It is much cheaper for the Ethiopian. It is much cheaper. She just said, give me 91,000. Me love you long time. So what, they price fix? So they charge white guys more? What do a Chinese what do a Chinaman have to pay for a woman like her? That means nothing. She was a PhD student and she was pregnant. Okay, let's see.
After discovering she was pregnant in March 2024. Instead of agreeing to marry her, the boyfriend disappeared. Initially, the couple was overjoyed upon learning about the pregnancy and began planning their wedding. However, when the woman brought up the bride price, her boyfriend became suspicious. He recalled alarming stories online about fraudulent marriages and feared she might be using him to gain European residency. He decided to report the situation to the police. Reports suggest that the woman had previously been married in China. That marriage ended in divorce due to long-distance issues after she moved abroad for her studies. Her first marriage reportedly involved a bride price of 660,000 yuan. To put the current...
Okay, I looked it up. It says the price of a Chinese dowry, also known as a bride price, or kali, varies depending on the region, the couple's circumstances. In general, the bride price have been increasing and are more often higher than the gifter's annual salary. But they had a price. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Bride price practicing in China, when the couple's married, the family and the husband, she pays a certain sum, averaging 135,000 won, or 21,170 USD. So that's steep, and that's the average. That's the average. So Yeah, we're talking about, a good 24 years before that $80 a month turns into 21,000. Ethiopian women are extremely attractive. And yes, many of them do come with a forehead, but if they could wear their bangs right, and some of them don't have them. If you find one without that 5 head, then you're good. I said that before, but to me, they're the most attractive women, forehead aside.
Current request in context, 88,000 euros represents about a year's income for an average person in the Netherlands. Bride prices are not part of Dutch culture. From a local perspective, demanding money as a condition for marriage, especially when the woman is already pregnant, is often equated with fraud. In fact, according to laws in Europe and North America, asking for financial
No, it has nothing to do with that. Ethiopian women are beautiful because they're beautiful. Yeah.
gifts tied to marriage or pregnancy can be classified as fraud. Reports also claim that this highly educated doctoral student was detained for her demand for a large bride price. Drawing widespread criticism, her actions were described as a source of
She's a pretty woman.
embarrassment for China abroad. A simple internet search using terms like international marriage and fake marriages reveals numerous stories about individuals attempting to gain
He looked like Stan Lee. Rest in peace. That man was old.
abroad. A simple internet search using terms like international marriage and fake marriages reveals numerous stories about individuals attempting to gain foreign
Dang, I missed it. But anyway, dude looked old.
residency through fraudulent means. In many cases, these attempts end with financial and emotional losses or deportation. One widely shared example involved a man holding a sign to raise awareness about his plight. He claimed he had entered a fake marriage with a woman from Qingdao who had already obtained Australian residency. He agreed to pay her 400,000 yuan in exchange for helping him obtain a green card. However, in the end, the woman disappeared with the money and he never received his residency. Bride prices have traditionally been a part
That's not a
of
bride
Chinese
price.
marriage customs. The intention was to bring joy to the wedding and show respect to the bride's family. In most cases,
Look at this bitch.
have traditionally been a part of Chinese marriage customs. The intention was to bring
Look at the face on this bitch. How much you want to bet that she wanted to fuck him? She does not look happy. She is not happy with this wedding.
joy to the wedding and show respect to the bride's family. In most cases, the bride's family would only take a symbolic amount or would return a significant portion to the newlyweds to help them establish their home. Furthermore, the amount of the bride price was meant to reflect the groom's financial situation.
Dang, that is an unhappy couple. What is it with what is it with y'all? What is it with Chinese people and miserable looking weddings?
With the principle of affordability in mind. In recent years, however, with economic challenges and a slowing economy, the cost of marriage, including bride
Oh, Zone said weddings is long and trying. Oh, that's right. That's right. I went to an Indian wedding. That shit took forever. And the food they were serving was crap. So I actually went to Jack in the Box, came back, and they were still getting married. And like not like in the middle of it too. They were still getting married. We still had like hours to go. And it was like ceremony after ceremony. And every time I just stand there like, hey, are they married yet? Like every time I'm like, are they married yet? So yeah, so that makes sense.
Prices has skyrocketed. This shift has distorted the tradition's original purpose, instead fueling marital anxiety and societal issues such as fear of marriage and the growing number of older single women. On December 18, 2024, a woman named Aoyang Weiwei became the subject of public criticism at a matchmaking corner in Hangzhou's Wansong Academy.
The accent of their language is shit too. Like, look at this. Who want to read this crap? And then they throw in random numbers, and then it's back to crap again. Man.
She was shamed for demanding an unreasonably high bride price during her search for a partner.
Next year, my bride price will go up. This year, it's 880,000 yuan. Next year, it will be 1 million yuan.
Okay, I'm gonna see how much 1 million. I think that's $14,000. But let me see. I'm gonna see how much money is 1 million yen. I gotta go back. Hold on. Yen to USD. Like, it should be 6 zeros. Yeah, that's right. 6 zeros. All right. So yeah, I was right. That's like, oh no, I missed the decimal. I got to move the decimal over. It's $137,000. It's 130. So it's really closer to 140,000, which is 10 times the 14,000 that I thought. That is bonkers. And then she talking about it's gonna go up, and she 38, old ass eggs. Nope. Chinaman, listen to me and listen to me good. It is a better deal in Ethiopia. It is a better deal. You'd have better looking children. You will have taller children and all kind of stuff. It is a better deal. This broad is out her damn mind.
$38 this year.
And that's why it's a 38 right there. This is how this read. Chi 38 chon 168. What is that? That is what it reads. I'm not gonna lie. I do want ablation. If the entire generation of Chinese turned Blasian, if the entire population of Chinese turned Blasian in the next generation, yes, that would be a beautiful sight for the world. I'm not gonna front. I don't think it worked the same way when the father's Chinese, though.
Yeah.
Just wait another 10 years. By the time you're 48, you could ask for 1,800,000 yuan.
Isn't Tiger Woods like 6'2"? Hold on, let me see. He's 6'1". 6'1". And I'm pretty sure he's taller than his mother's father.
Yuan, right? The older you get, the higher the bride price.
Next year, my bride price will go up.
A 38-year-old single woman faced widespread ridicule after demanding a bride price of 880,000 yuan.
Huh.
Some even mocked her publicly, with one
She
person
should be
saying,
mocked. They should throw they should throw noodles at her. They should throw noodles at her and shrimp fried rice. They for bringing up some crap like that.
If I married you, the most I'd offer you is 10 yuan. Just 10 yuan.
Ah, you said 10 yen. Was it like 14 cents?
In response, Ouyang Weiwei fired back, saying, "Dream on. Even if I were sealed in cement, I still wouldn't marry you." In live streams with other hosts, Ao Yang often stated that her bride price couldn't be less than 800,000 yuan. After failing at in-person matchmaking, she turned to online matchmaking, but was met with harsh criticism. Some people didn't hold back, saying, at her age, even
Yeah, that
her
looked
ability to
nasty.
have children is questionable, and she's asking for 800,000 yuan? Who has that kind of money to marry her? Although Ao Yang initially argued back, she eventually realized there was truth in the criticism. After facing multiple setbacks, she admitted she regretted demanding such a high bride price.
Oh, you're stupid.
I'm the woman who asked for 800,000 yuan as a bride price. I really regret it now. I've wasted my chances. I want to tell everyone, don't delay in getting married. Now I just pray for another chance to find love.
In the video, she's saying in tears,
Ooh, I'm glad I played this. I didn't see this before, fellas. I just seen the title. 'Cause I've been watching a lot of China stuff lately. But it says I messed up. I ruined my own chances. Now, y'all remember, those of you who watched from the beginning, y'all remember when and if not, just check the replay, when they showed like the black woman in her 50s still talking like, oh, y'all went down in value too. Y'all want somebody young, but y'all old too. At least she realized that she ruined her youth. And she is now recommending that others don't ruin their youth. At least now she realized that, because she's China smart, as opposed to the other chick who's Mississippi stupid. This is what make them better at being women, because they stopped being stupid earlier. Fellas, type in the chat how many won would she have to pay you for your penis.
Ao Yang even apologized for looking down on ordinary people and for being overly demanding in the past. She urged other women not to let unrealistic expectations leave them alone and unsupported in the future. Her heartfelt apology led to a shift in the public's tone. Some people began offering her advice and encouragement. If you really want to get married, just be more practical. Instead of crying alone, why not see if there's someone suitable around you? It's not too late. Reflecting on your mistakes can lead to a better future. Best wishes to you. Realizing your shortcomings shows you're not a bad person at heart. These comments reflect a
See, that's
common
the same
perspective.
outfit.
Many women set their
That's the same outfit. So that he had that black woman in on the thumbnail.
expectations too high without considering their age or other limitations. On January 13th, 2025, Ao Yang went to Shanghai for another matchmaking event
Holy
and
crap.
once again faced online ridicule.
Today, I'm here at the Shanghai People's Park for a matchmaking event. I don't know what the scene will be like. Let's check it out. Normally, I just stay home all the time. Other than being a little older, what else can you criticize about me? Yeah, the only thing people criticize is my age.
That's all we need. That's the only thing we need to criticize you about. That's like me having an old ass car. The only thing you criticize about is the car is the age. That's all I need. It's like having some expired milk. Really, the only problem with this milk is that it's past its expiration date. That's all that it needs. That's the only problem it needs to have.
Don't use 10 yuan to insult others, okay?
This is a 10 yuan bride price.
Keep your 10 yuan for yourself. There's no
She have to laugh to avoid crying. This dude basically just tossed $1.40 in. That's like that time I went to the strip club with a roll of quarters and I was just flicking it at him. This is worse because that's the marriage price. This is worse than me doing that.
no way I can even spend it all.
This is for marrying you. If you don't marry me, I'll die right here in front of you.
Let me tell you, I'm completely speechless because of you. If I'm a postgraduate, it's not too much to ask for a
Nobody cares about your postgraduateness. Is this a universal thing that they think niggas care about her PhD? Okay, gotta address this. Joe Blow, Black women are known for our beauty and bodies. Yes. Yes, this statement is true. It's far less true for Black American women. Black American women are known for something else, none of which is good. Black women internationally, like the Ethiopian woman that this guy was interested in, is known for those things. That's why he was willing to pay the $80 a month.
partner with at least a bachelor's degree, right? I have a car, a house.
I don't
so
care.
it's
I don't
reasonable
care.
for me to expect a man with a car and a house too.
I
As
don't
for the
care.
bride price, I'm asking for 100,000 yuan. It's not a high demand.
Many women have idolized views of marriage, often missing the best time to.
And see, this is my point. This is my point to the old bitch in the beginning, because or no, this is not my point to old bitch in the beginning. This is my point to what I was saying to somebody earlier who was asking about dang, I keep losing my train of thought on this. What was it? Bride price and change. Hold on. Let me gather my thoughts. I'm kind of hungry. So, and besides, I'm like triple multitasking. Let me gather my thoughts. Give me a second. Oh, about how in America, poverty, there is a such thing as attractive. America is one of those places where a woman is very unlikely to be both attractive and homeless. Where in other parts of the world, including China, a woman can be both attractive and homeless. And since beauty is a man's top priority, he would rather give a lower dowry to a homeless, attractive woman who's more attractive than her, at least, than pay a higher dowry for this PhD student. That's what I was getting at. Sometimes you just got to gather your thoughts. Okay.
Settle down. Aoyang was one of them. She believed that if she held out long enough, she would find a man willing to pay the 800,000 yuan bride price. However, reality proved otherwise. Now, with her friends and family urging her to marry, Aoyang feels uncertain about how to interact with potential partners. She has since lowered the bride price demand to 100,000 yuan. For a woman, being 38 years old comes with challenges. It often means declining fertility, fewer choices, and increasing.
This is true. An extraordinary decline in fertility. These bras be like the wall don't exist. This is China. They build walls. Nobody build walls like this bitch hit the Great Wall. She hit the Great Wall. A ching chong 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 ching. Yeah, tell the Mongolians that the wall don't exist. Tell the Hun that the wall don't exist. The wall been keeping old bitches out of China since the Ming Dynasty. Don't you know that that's what the wall was made for? Old bitches. Emperor Qin was like, we need something to keep the old bitches out. We need something to keep the old unmarried bitches out. And I want to be able to see it from space. We're gonna call it the Great Wall. And if you turn 38 and you ain't got a husband and kids and shit, your ass will be outside of it.
Social pressure. Our young struggle are a reflection of what many older single women face. Once full of dreams about marriage, they miss the ideal time due to various reasons, only to find themselves in an awkward situation. In China, the bride price is a tradition that dates back thousands of years. It was originally intended as a symbolic gift.
Indian people do that too. The red envelopes.
From the groom's family to the bride's, representing respect and goodwill rather than profit.
Why this nigga got a starter jacket on his wedding day? So that's something I didn't know, that the Chinese women have to wear this traditional red and gold dress and the men just wear whatever the fuck random crap that's in their closet at the time. Like, I didn't know that. I truly didn't. But hey, I respect the customs.
However, in modern times, the practice has been distorted. Skyrocketing bride prices have turned into a burden, with some families going into debt just to meet marriage demands, creating situations where one marriage plunges the entire family into debt.
Marriage in rural areas has become so competitive. This is my hometown, a rural
That is a nice model.
area in northern Anhui. Women who went to college generally expect the man to buy a house in Hefei, the provincial capital. For those who didn't go to college, buying a house in the county is the minimum requirement. Without a house, there's no matchmaking. There's nothing to discuss. Does a self-built rural house count? No, it doesn't. Talk about the house first, then talk about marriage. Marriage in rural areas has 3 steps. The first step is the engagement, where 60,000 to 100,000.
Now that's one thing I do want to see. Nobody does fireworks like China. On my bucket list is to go to China during Chinese New Year, which I think is April. I think it's actually coming up. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I do want to see a Hong Kong fireworks show. You laughing? I don't know why you're laughing. I'm serious. Like, nobody does it like Chinese, because they invented gunpowder. People think that white people invented guns. Nope, that's why it's called the gun. You know any white people named Gun? No. So yeah, it's yeah, I want to see that. Oh, it's over.
Yuan is directly given. The second step is the bride price, which ranges from 180,000 to 400,000 yuan, and on the day before the wedding, there are additional gifts.
Oh.
Aside from a whole pig and lamb, you also need to bring cigarettes, alcohol, nuts, and candy.
How much does a pig cost, and how much does a lamb cost? I know how much cigarettes and candy cost, but I wonder how much a pig and a lamb cost. I don't think it's that much. What if you just bought like 10 pounds of bacon and pork chops?
10 of each item, which adds up to 50,000 to 60,000 yuan.
I think he's named after the gun. His family's name came after the gun was invented. But trust me, the first guns is a Chinese invention. They used it against the Mongolians.
So excluding the house and car, a rural wedding costs about 500,000 yuan in total. It's even harder for families with 2 sons. 99% of women who will refuse to consider them once they hear about the 2 sons. Seeing this,
yeah, Zone, these dudes are better off with the Ethiopian women dealing with this bullshit. 500,000 won, that's just for the marriage. So they got the same problems that America got. A 50K wedding is about right, but you know that on top of the fact that you gotta pay the bride price, and the bride price be like on some retard stuff. Fuck that. Fuck that. Get yourself an Ethiopian, $80 a month. You good to go. All right, let's read some more stuff. Known for our exotic features and shapely bodies. Once again, okay. You're talking about non-FBA Black people. You're talking about everybody in the diaspora but Black American women. Yes, Black women are very beautiful, but not Black American women because they eat corn syrup and all the crap that comes in processed American food, and they eat more of it than anybody. They don't shop at Whole Foods. They don't get their brown rice or the brown eggs. The only thing brown they eat is chocolate and too much of it. Like and not even the good chocolate, the chocolate dust that they put on Cocoa Puffs. Like that's what y'all do. Y'all have like good DNA, but y'all treat it like shit. And the result is what you see. Red and gold. Yeah. I mean, from what I've seen, I'm no expert, but yeah, like I see them and they wear red and gold at their weddings. The man has to pay. The man have to pay. Yeah, red is also, yeah, I've seen that. Like I said, I've seen it in other cultures too. But those cultures were Asian also. That's crazy. What's crazy? Behind 5 minutes. All right, just play it at double speed. How do you say I'm a PhD in Chinese? I think that all Chinese people are PhDs, just like all Vulcans are doctors, like even when they're not. The wall doesn't, okay, you talking crazy. Does she make money from being an online personality? If so, we know why she does this. I don't know if they have like wealthy content creators in China that caters to the Chinese audience. What wall? Okay, they want some more crazy talk. Okay. 42 getting married. These brothers are starving out here. This is true. This is true. And they should be going to Ethiopia and eating. So just think about it. $80 a head. So for $800, you can have 10 of them. You can have 10 of them. $800 is a lease on a decent automobile plus insurance. So instead of having an automobile, instead of having like a decent automobile, you could just buy like a Kia or something and then have 10 wives, 10 Ethiopian wives. Fellas, don't get thirsty, get smart. Okay, that's addressed to somebody. My mom had me and my twin sister at 35. Why did you bring that up? All right. What wall? What do you talk? Oh, you're saying that she was old. Okay. Well, see if she can give you another sister right now, and that'll answer your question of what wall. Ask her for a sister or a brother right now, and you see what wall I'm talking about. What is she, 65? Yeah. You'll see what wall I'm talking about. Yeah, the men aren't getting married till after 40 when they're done playing. Huh? These words are true. Damn, Ray, chill. What did Ray say? By the way, no movies. I'm gonna open up the Zoom link for movie night, but no movies tonight because I got plans. But y'all can chill there if y'all want, and I'll co-host everybody as I stop by the house. But or the people that come in first. But I won't be there playing a movie. I will do movie night tomorrow for those of you who come to movie night. And if you're interested in movie night, just email me at GameChanger00100 and I'll hit you back with the link. I'm going to do 2 days in a row. Tomorrow I'm going to actually have the movies, but today I'm going to have the link over. I'm going to put the link out there so y'all can discuss today's topic if you want. Well, almost over. Is her PhD studies in psychology? Well, it's not on it's not on economics. That's for sure. Oh, something happened. Okay. In her defense, there are fewer Asian women compared to Asian men. Assuming she's not making money for the attention and not doing it, blah, blah, blah. She thought she could get away with. Yeah, that's true. However, Asians, particularly Orientals, are steadfast in their standards. And there's extremely few Chinamen who have 88,000, what was it like? No, 880,000 won to spend on an old bitch. Yes, there are fewer Asian men, but there are fewer Asian women than men. However, there are very few in that tax bracket that have to spend, and those who do are not going to spend it on some 38-year-old twat. Majority of Black American women are overweight. Check the statistics. Yeah, by a wide margin. Pun intended. Known for obesity and attitude. Absolutely. That's one of the many negative traits that they're known for domestically. Let's see. I won't read that because it's to a person. Give me my passport. Well, I'm going to go to Ethiopia. $80. Yes, it's only a good deal for us. It's a good deal for everybody with $80. Most Black men are fat and broke. Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that. No, it's over now. They have wealthy content creators. Okay. Maybe she's one of them. Black women haven't learned in 5,000 years that Black men have always been their best options and sole reason for their assumed privilege. Well, I don't know if we're their best options, but we're the ones that are most interested in them. We're the best option available to most of them, absolutely, depending on what they value. So, yeah. And that's at present. I don't know if that's always been the case everywhere. Also go to Vietnam, formerly the southern end of the Chinese Empire, for what's Tet? For the Vietnamese New Year. Okay. Is it the same time? Since it was formerly part of China? Can't be sure you can buy a whole pig / lamb in the markets. I think that was for like the rural areas, but I'm just curious. Well, yeah. Let me see how much an American pig costs. How much is a live pig? $600 to $750. She already has 5 kids. Well, ask her to have more. I'm saying, like, you're saying a wall don't exist. So, which means that she should still be able to pop them out like she did when you were born, when she popped you and your sister out. A woman's ability to have once had kids does not mean that the wall doesn't exist. My mom had me when she was in her 30s, and two of my siblings when she was 42. Okay, ask her to have another one, and then we'll know when the wall exists. What the hell? To all you people with mom who was born when their mom was like 30 and 40, you last egg people, ask your mom to have another one. Tell them that you want a little brother or sister and see how they look at you. You're purposely missing GC's point. Time doesn't matter to humans. Yeah, I know. They're being obtuse to avoid harsh realities. Okay. More banter back and forth. Like, okay, well, more fool you. Marriage in China, pay so you can pay some more. Exactly, yeah. I wonder how they got so many Chinese people. Like, it's expensive. Another MF thing to make clear, Black women don't understand that when they have children by non-Black men, that ends the bloodline of Black children. Hence, Black people, aka Nephilim. What? I would ask you to explain, but yeah, I gotta go soon. Says, then why are so many men in my DMs? Because you're light skinned. All right. Black women are under the impression that having a vagina means that they never diminish in value. It's that type of stupidity. Americans in general are unhealthy by design, and that's about all I have to say about that matter. Yes, absolutely. Some, for cultural reasons and economic reasons, are less healthy than others, and Black women are the least healthy of all. Black American men are so fat, most have breasts. Okay. Most Black women have 4 of them. 2 in the front, 2 in the back. Sometimes 4 in the front, 2 in the back. All right, let's see. Delusional, what wall? Never seen a wall. Yeah, nobody sees it until they see it. If Oren lies, then God of the Bible, huh? Who the hell is Oren? And that being the case, I'm okay with that. God has never been wrong. Hard his, okay. All right. What makes you happy? Give y'all nothing but Down syndrome and sickle cell with them dinosaur eggs. I don't know if that's how sickle cell works, but that is how Down syndrome works. Let's see. Remember when they could only have 1 kid in China? How old are you? Oh, that's definitely how they preferred men. Wisely so, but to a fault in this case. Because so many men don't care about getting the clap from an easy to bed Keisha. There's definitely a vagina shelf life, yeah. Black women are fatty, 86% are fat, 56% are obese. Oh, it went up. Dang. That's too bad. Your last boyfriend, oh, let me see. Sometimes only 4 in the back. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be that bad. They be having titties on their knees and shit. I mean, where's the shitty? Where is the black man who's suing Uber because he was too fat to get in the back seat? Where's the black man doing that right now? Anyway, let me check my phone. Y'all don't be seeing the stuff, but I'm gonna check it anyway. Nope, as predicted. Oh crap, my cousin texted me. Let's see. See what she's talking about. All right. Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody that participated. I'd like to thank my members. I'd like to thank those who are listening silently and those who participate in the chat. Hit that like button on your way out. And this is GameChanger 00100. Game over. Peace.